so welcome everybody. It's Pablo Vargas and another episode of Pablo's podcast. And today I have a special guest. I have someone who flipped his first property at 18 years old. First property at 18. So he was already a flipper and he probably didn't even know it at the time. So today's guest, I have Sergio Gonzalez. Welcome, Sergio Gonzalez.
How's it going, everybody?
Sergio also happens to be on my real estate team, and he's here today, and he's gonna just talk about your story.
Yeah,
an amazing story.
Yep, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
So, kind of tell us where you're from, and tell me the story about when you flipped your first property at 19 or 18.
It was 18, I believe.
18 years old. You were a teenager.
Teenager, man. Yeah, so I was always a hard worker. I would always help my dad with his business, recycling cars, doing all that. And I was a pretty good saver. And I saved a good amount of money. And I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do with the money, but I know I want to invest it, right? So I held on to that money for maybe a year. And then my dad told me, hey, there's just a lot of opportunity. If you want to buy it, I was like, I don't know, man. It's kind of risky because obviously I don't really know what to do with it.
Your dad presented the lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knew I had the money. He knew I was always a good saver. And he's like, there's this lot if you're interested. And I was like, let's go check it out. It was like 5 minutes from our house. We went. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So we called the lady and she's like, I want 20,000. And we offered her, I believe, 15. And we met at the middle at 17.5. And I was like, let's do it. So we drove to her home. We kind of just introduced ourselves because she didn't know me. She knew my dad, but she didn't know me.
Right.
And I was like, we're serious. Tomorrow I'll bring you a check of 10,000 just to kind of secure it, right?
Sure.
So next day I went to the bank, and I was nervous, man. I was like 18 years old, going to the bank asking for a $10,000 check. I was like, damn, what are they gonna tell me? Like, they're like, where'd you get the money from?
Yep.
But no, they're professional about it. I asked for a $10,000 check, and they gave it to me. And the next day I dropped it off, and I was like, cool, we're serious.
Yeah, game on.
Yeah, and then the very next day, she was like, okay, we'll go to I guess where they do the county, the records or whatever.
Yep, probably the county.
Yeah,
and record it or notarize it.
So I gave her the rest of the check for $7,500, and then we changed names. We put the property in my name. So I became the property owner at 18 years old.
You're a teenager and you owned your first property.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was crazy. It was surreal, but hey, man, it's possible.
Okay, so I've got some questions because that's not normal, right? I mean, in this day and age, it's still not normal for a teenager to, first of all, save up that money. So how did you get to? You said you were a good saver, but were you working at the time? I mean, how were you making that extra?
At the time, I think I was I still in high school? I don't think I was. So I think I was out of high school. I was working at a grocery store, Vallarta Supermarkets.
Okay, you were at a supermarket.
Very popular, yeah. I worked there for about a year and a half, and I was getting financial aid. And
were you going to school at this time?
I was going to school.
Okay, so you're probably in college.
Yeah, I was in college. So I was a good saver. I had financial aid helping me and the Vallarta income. So I had like basically 3 different types of income at the time, 18 years old. Pretty crazy again. And I was always really a good saver. I wasn't really into buying nice cars, nice things.
Right. I
was like, maybe later in the future, I could have the nice things. But right now, I'm going to just wait for an opportunity to come up. And it came up,
That's awesome, man. So it sounded like, you knew, you kind of had a plan, right? Like you were going to save up this money in case an opportunity came up. I'm not going to go buy a fancy car or whatever at 18, which a lot of young boys, young men, and women too, right? Like they want to go and spend that money. But you saved it and this opportunity came up. Now, did you know you were going to flip it? Did you know, or you just knew like, hey, your dad presented this idea and you just bought it?
Honestly, I'm a big risk taker, like a very huge risk taker. And it's not always the best idea, but at the time I didn't really know better. And I guess the coin fell on the good side, the heads that I called or whatever. I kind of just bought it and I was like, you know what, land, nobody can pick it up and steal it. Nobody can, take over the ownership rights because it's in my name, I was like, that's a kind of for sure bet, buy land. And real estate always goes up.
Yeah.
I think that was during COVID too. So that's when the market was crazy. And I was like, you know what, I might just sell it, But I was like, I don't know. I might just keep it. It doesn't hurt to have land, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that was about 6 months later. My dad told me, hey, I know somebody that wants to buy it. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. He's like, we talked it over and we agreed at $32,000. So he agreed to the price before even telling me that he wanted to sell it. So not that he went behind my back, which I don't care.
Dude, he got you the deal in the first place.
Got me the deal in the first place.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Literally the next day. I mean, I don't know if the IRS is gonna see this or whatever, but yeah, he brought the biggest bundle of cash I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
$32,000.
That's crazy.
Benjamins, $100 bills.
Wow.
And my dad's like, all right, man, I gotta get a cut too, right? I was like, yeah, of course. So I don't know if you knew this or anybody knew this, but so basically I profited, what was it, like almost half, 14,000. Well, I don't want, they're gonna roast me in the comments for the math, but you know.
But you split it with your dad, which is I think
basically,
that's cool.
so basically what I did do,
Your dad was the deal finder.
he was a deal finder, so
And you had the money saved up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't buy it.
He's not a good saver, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Like most of my family members, they're not really good with finances.
They're spenders.
My mom's the only good one. She won't really buy anything for herself.
Sure.
Like most moms, right?
She's modest.
Yeah. So she'll think twice to buy a new shirt for herself, but she won't think twice to buy anything for us.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense, man. So you got that from your mom, probably.
Like I don't want to kind of put my family on blast, but they're not really good with finances, and I got you. I get on them too,
But I mean, that's I think that's normal, man. Like we go to public school, and public school doesn't really teach you finances, right? They don't teach you how to. I do remember taking one class out of the how many 100 classes you take from kinder to high school. I remember one class in high school. I think it was called study skills.
Okay.
And I think they taught us how to like balance a check but I mean, they don't really like teach you, right? I think they did. I do remember them teaching us how to do like resumes for jobs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? Yeah, but how to balance a check or do a budget, I don't remember that stuff. Like, and if they did, they do a good job because I don't remember it. So yeah, I mean, I think this podcast has a lot to do with finances because you and I both are in real estate, and we're doing real estate because we want to improve our finances. We want to be financially free, as many people do. I mean, nobody wants to live month to month in debt, right? We want to learn how to be free from all that.
Of course.
But so you picked up on something from the beginning, a concept that I teach and that I try to like mentor my team and all of you guys, which is how to take your money and multiply it.
Exactly.
Or what I've been doing the last few years is using other people's money and multiplying that to make a profit, to make them money and for you to make a profit. So you learned that at 18, man, and that's pretty amazing.
And I didn't really know anything about real estate. I just seen a deal and I did it,
Yeah. So you're okay. So 18. Fast forward. What? You're 23 now.
22 now.
22. So 4 years later. I mean, you've been on the team for, I don't know, less than a year.
Less than a year.
So what happened a year ago or so that you decided, like, you know what? I want to join a real estate team. I want to, like, get more into real estate because you got your license. So
I got my license. Yeah, so basically, out of high school, I worked at Vallarta, like I mentioned.
Yep.
And after that, just kind of taught me, man, like, this hourly, I can't do it, And I was a great worker. Don't get it wrong. All the managers love me, Like I said, sometimes I feel like I would work too hard. Like I would have to slow myself down. Like, whoa, man, chill. You're gonna get paid the same regardless, right? Yeah,
it's hourly.
Yeah, and then you get treated like an employee,
Yeah,
like a statistic or
sure,
just another guy on the roster, I guess you can say.
Sure.
And I was like, you know what? I seen Alaskari from Early Mart. She's the realtor. And I'm like, what? She's a realtor? Like she's a year younger than me.
Yeah, she's young.
Like, what? Like, how's that possible? Because I thought, if you're gonna sell a home, you got to be like 30 years old. You got to be mature to handle that type of money, right? And yeah, she was a realtor. I was like, oh damn, like she's a year younger than me. If she can do it, I could probably do it too.
Sure. So yeah, so seeing someone else, kind of inspired you. Funny story is, you and I had been chatting on Instagram. I'm not even sure like how you followed me or I followed you back or whatever, but you found me on Instagram. And I think I had like, you and I had been going back and forth. You'd been asking me questions about real estate. And I said, yeah, dude, here's the website. Get your real estate license. And I think you went and did all that.
Yeah.
But then maybe like towards the end of you finishing your class, I told you, I said, hey, man, come to the office. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's parts of real estate that don't require a license, right? Like, and you were like, what? And so that you started coming in before you got your license. Yep, you were taking your classes. I don't think you had taken your test yet, and you started coming
Yeah.
to the office to kind of just get a sense of like,
Yeah.
okay, what does it look like day to day? So
Yeah.
um, so that's something that probably a lot of people don't realize too, right? Like real estate can be done with or without a license. We both happen to have our licenses, but we're doing a lot of real estate also that doesn't require the license. So Pace Morby said in one of these videos that I posted recently that a lot of real estate agents think that they're in real estate, but they're not, right?
Yeah.
They don't own real
They
estate.
don't own it.
They're selling someone else's real estate and they get a commission for that. But when you start buying property, flipping it, or even using other people's money to invest and flip that property, like what we're doing, right? Buying these properties and then fixing them up, or whether it's like a lot that we buy for a really good deal and then we put them on the market, like now we're in real estate. And there's a huge difference. And I can
There
think
is.
people like you didn't know that at the beginning.
I didn't, man.
Well, a perfect example was you flipping that lot.
Yeah, I
You were already
yeah.
in real estate.
I didn't have a license, and I was in the real estate, right?
Yeah.
So like you said, I owned it, and I kind of
Owned
held
it.
on it, which is an investing too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You hold and then you sell.
Took a little risk there, but anyway. So let me ask you just a couple questions. I think you and I have talked about this before, but what surprised you the most in general, like about real estate? Like, what do you think is kind of like a surprising thing that you didn't know before?
That's not easy. You know,
Yeah.
you see all these Instagram people. Oh, you know, I got this deal, I did that deal, but you don't see behind the scenes
Yeah.
of what they got to do.
And they make it look and sound easy.
Yeah, or how much people they have to call. Like it's a lot of people,
For sure.
and like the scripts.
It's a numbers game, right?
Yeah, and scripts, techniques. You know, like
Tonality,
tonality.
consistency on
even
the phone.
psychology. You know, and it
Yep.
just and a lot of people want to be a realtor because of the schedule, right? But at the end of the day, you can also be lazy, and if you're lazy, you get
Accountability.
you get what you put in, like you always mention, you know.
Right.
And at a 9 to 5, you got to be there at that time, and you're there at that time, right?
So yeah, so when you were at Vallarta, like
Yeah.
you had a schedule and you had to show up.
And I was there exactly.
You couldn't not show up and be like, "Yeah, I'm barely getting up." Like the manager wouldn't stand for that, right?
Exactly.
So what would you recommend for someone that's wanting to get their license and do real estate, right?
Yeah, do real estate. Yeah.
What would you recommend to that person? Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, I would tell them start now. You know, even if you want to do it part time, even once a week. I mean, once a week is more than no days a week, right?
Right.
Like some knowledge is better than no knowledge.
Yeah.
And I would recommend maybe being an assistant. I've seen a lot of people being assistants
Yeah.
first, and then they get licensed, and then they're already on track. They know what to do and how to do
They
it.
learn the business.
Yeah.
They learn the
Exactly.
business of real estate for
Exactly.
sure. Okay, we're gonna do a quick round of would you rather.
Would you rather?
We didn't really prepare for this, but we're just like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go first. You're gonna ask
All
me would I rather.
Okay, cool.
Me.
All right, Paulo. This is kind of off the dome. Would you rather work a 9 to 5 job but make $100K, or still do real estate, which I assume you love, and earn half that, so $50K?
Shoot. If I was making $50K in real estate, something's going on.
But you loved but like it was like a fixed amount, but you love it.
But see, that's kind of a tricky question. Okay, so to answer the question, I would be in real estate. I wouldn't do the 100K, but I'd figure out why am I only making 50K, because there is no fixed amount in real estate. Right?
There is no
Like,
fixed amount.
You can make more
Yeah.
than 50,000 easy.
Easy.
At
No,
least-
easy.
At least for me now, I think of 50K like piece of cake, right? We'll do that in a month. But yeah, I'll never go back to a regular job.
to a 9 to 5.
No way,
to
man.
a fixed income.
I've worked at a bunch of retail. I used to work at Jamba Juice. I used to work as a server at a retirement home. I did Radio Shack. I hated that job.
Customer service.
Dude, no, it's not even that. Like, I think customers are cool. It was just that the micromanagement. I didn't like that. Like people like being behind you, like, man, you already told me what I needed to do. I can do it. You
Felt
know?
like a peasant working for the.
Yeah, I
know?
didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I'd never go back. Okay,
Gotcha.
so I'm gonna ask you a question now. I'm gonna kind of throw it back to you. Would you rather? I'm gonna add a little more meat though. Would you rather make $250,000 guaranteed every year, benefits, retirement, the whole shebang, or start off in real estate like you did this year?
Honestly, man, like money doesn't really drive me. I think I'd do real estate. Yeah, because like you said, I mean, I mean, sky's the limit, right? You can make however much you want, and I feel like the
Yeah.
process is a lot more rewarding. You know.
And you know what's big too is like what you know, because the more you know, the more you find out about real estate, the more money you're gonna make. So it is about knowledge, and a lot of people, I think, the reason you even watch these videos sometimes is because you want to learn, like, how do I do that? How do I make more money? And I'm gonna say this, that real estate, as you already know, it's not easy. It requires consistency and discipline, but it's not rocket science. It's simple, but it does require dedication and time and effort. So, okay, and some skill, right?
Yeah.
Your turn. Would
Another
you
one?
rather? I think we had one
I
question
only had that
earlier.
one, honestly.
Okay, ask it.
You
Ask
have
me.
another one? No, I had that one. I just
No,
told
well,
you.
the one that you the one we talked about earlier.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
okay,
asking.
okay, Bob. Though, let me ask you.
Okay.
Okay, would you rather be rich and live in Bakersfield, or would you rather be poor and live on the beach
I'll take the beach.
any day?
No, you know what? My goal is to live by the beach.
Okay.
I would love to live close to the beach. I went to school in San Diego, and that weather, like hands down, the best weather. I loved it. Didn't go to the beach that much, ironically, but we did go to the beach. But it's just the weather overall is nicer. But man, again, a tricky question, because if I'm rich and I live in Bakersfield, I could probably afford a house
You can
on
probably
the beach.
or you can travel.
So let me
every day.
do rich in Bakersfield.
Yeah, you got
There
it,
we
man.
go. Yep, there we go. I gotta think about those questions more. But
Yeah, deeply.
okay, so let me ask you another one, man. Okay, are you a sports guy?
Oh yeah, I love sports, man.
What sports do you like?
Football. I'm big on football.
Would you rather? Okay, here we go. Would you rather get VIP access to a team that you didn't like, but you get to go behind the scenes, like
Okay.
full on, but
Okay.
of a team you didn't like,
Okay.
or go to the Super Bowl of the team that you do like?
I'm going to the Super Bowl, man. That's one in a lifetime, especially for my team. If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Even if you're gonna meet football players, like,
Honestly, that's
because then you get to go in the locker room, ask them questions. I mean, Super Bowl is cool, but what if you had like nosebleeds? And,
I mean, I think VIP could probably get more clout. You could maybe feel some
Right,
content, right?
right.
Like, honestly, you got me thinking on that one.
Would you rather?
I think I'd do the VIP. I think I could watch Super Bowl at
Yeah.
home.
All right.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, you can always watch it at home. It's probably not gonna be the same as watching in person, but okay, that's a good one. One more round. One more question. Don't think too hard. This is for fun.
I know. I really got nothing, man. Let me see. I don't want to get too personal either.
Jeez.
See,
I didn't think this would be this hard.
I don't know how you came up with that one that quick. Honestly. All right. Would you rather be really successful, but not have the car you want, the car or home you want? Like, maybe you have the great career, you're successful.
Yeah.
But you just don't have those materialistic items.
Or you said would you rather, or what's the other option? You said rich and not have good cars, or be successful and not good cars?
Yeah, like be successful like in life,
Yeah.
but just not have the cars. Or
What?
there's
What's
the
other
or, there's
options?
two orders, right?
And to be poor and have a bunch of good cars? Nah. No.
I don't know,
Okay.
yeah, just-
Dude, I like cars,
okay.
but do I have to have a nice car?
No.
No, I don't think having a nice car is a symbol of
I made it.
success. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it can be. I
Okay.
think that's
Okay.
what we've made it in society, culture, Instagram, social media culture. But I drive a Corvette now. I'm not super rich, right? I'm not even rich by that means. But okay, so we're on cars. Would you rather drive a Lamborghini or Ferrari?
I think I'm a Lambo guy, man. I think I'm a Lambo.
I see you sticking with your Honda though.
I wouldn't mind it, man. It's good on gas, especially how gas is right now.
Heck yeah.
I had the choice too. Either get a nice car.
We're in California, people. It's like above $6 right now. It's crazy.
It's terrible, man. That's why you get that V4. I get like 470 miles to a tank.
And you know what's funny is that my daughter was putting like freaking Chevron top of
Damn.
Chevron. I know, in her car, which is like a 4-cylinder. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
just go with the
You
cheapest.
don't need to do all
It's
that.
an economy car. It's not a supercar. She was paying a lot, and I'm like, no, you need to save some money.
Did she only know about Chevron or what?
I don't know, because that's usually where I go because of my car. But you know, I got a little bit of a performance car, so
Yeah.
and she just thought, you know, I gotta take care of my car. But I'm like, nah, just go with the cheapest.
It's
for
a
right now.
Honda, man. They're built to last.
Yeah. So cool, man. I appreciate you hanging out and answering, you know, being on the podcast. And I know we'll probably do some more interviews. And I think you're gonna do good, Sergio. Like, you just gotta commit, stay consistent, bang it out on the phones, man. You know, like, just keep doing that. And I mean, you started young at
Yeah.
18, right? I started real estate in my 20s, but I didn't have any guidance. And so for you guys at your age, it's awesome that you're here doing this and learning, because you're really learning right now. Eventually you get to that point, man, where you're going to be like, should I get the Ferrari or should I get the Lamborghini?
And it's patience, man. Patience is a big thing.
Absolutely. So, man, appreciate you. And
Yeah, man. Of course.
thanks for checking this video out. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.